What's that thing where you get a bunch of friends together and you jump from house to house and every house is a different course?
I don't know. Rich people must do
Yeah,
that.
that's, that's some rich people shit.
That's effective rich people shit.
Ugh. Keep up.
What do they call that? A snob trollop?
Yeah.
We usually try to eat our whole meal at one house.
Yeah, we're lucky to eat. So, I don't know why me and Novi would go back and forth to each other's house to eat spam, but
Well, you have spam at one person's house, and then you have like pan-fried spam at another person's house.
Now roll for the cow.
We're all gonna die.
Rudy has a sheep, and Rudy will take the sheep, set it on the bridge, and say, "Seabiscuit, you will wonderful companion," and then take the pitchfork and just spray blood all over it.
Stopping to rest is a great time for me to go make another drink.
Yeah, what else are we gonna do? Shit.
welcome to RPG Underground Dungeon Crawl Classics. We're going to do another level 0 funnel meat grinder called Hole in the Sky.
Should we go around and say our names and occupations?
Let's go ahead and do that.
All right. My four. I have an astrologer named Basic. I have a cheesemaker named Cheddar. I have a rutabaga farmer called Rudy. And I have an elvish artisan named Tarentum.
Tarentum. Wow.
I went on Google and I found elf name generator. And that one was the one that sounded the most cool.
That's about the level of care you should put into this. So I have Turnip Tim Lorbo, the turnip farmer. I have a cut purse named Chonk.
Nice.
An elven forester called Dink Fizzwhistle. And a dwarven miner named Grumbo.
You got to make sure Dink survives.
I'm going to try to keep Dink Fizzwhistle alive as long as possible. He's terrible as his stats are. They're probably my best ones.
All right, John.
I have Porster, the indentured servant. Guma, the weaver. Flatbow, the halfling vagrant. And the fortune teller, who is a fortune teller.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Novi.
What was the indentured servant's name?
Porster.
Almost done. I got one more I gotta do.
Slur more than anything.
The indentured servant is a strapling young lad. He's ripped.
25 strength.
He's 15,
Dang.
That's good.
That's pretty solid.
but he has 1 hit point, so...
Glass cannon.
Glass jaw. You know.
He's only meant for shoveling hay.
My characters are... So my first character is a confidence artist named Dewey Cheatham. He is totally average except for his luck, which sucks. My next one...
man with bad luck.
Yeah, fucking perfect, isn't it? My next one is a fetus meat sweat, the corn farmer, who is Mr. Personality fucking galore. Besides from that, he sucks. My next one is Grundle Snuggler, the minstrel, who is, he's just, And my last
Doesn't
one,
suck?
huh?
Doesn't suck?
No, he just is. He's amazingly sub-average. And my last one is Kunta Kinte. He's strong, he's durable. I don't know much else about that.
Okay. So all of your characters have felt your whole lives like you're living the wrong lives. You are destined for something much greater, but you can't find a way to escape your mundane existence. And then the dreams began. Every night, and they became more vivid over time, and they started robbing your life of an alluring woman dressed in blue finery, face shrouded in the shadows. And she would come to you in your dreams and say, "Become my ally, and your enemies shall be my enemies, and together we will take back the life that was promised to you by the stars. Come and find me at the cliff." So you just keep having this dream. And as the days pass on, You start disengaging from your family more. The people you work with find you just staring off in the distance, and some of you have gotten to the point where this is all you'll talk about. And it's driving you crazy. It's driving the people around you crazy. You all wake up one day and you just know today's the day I've got to go. And you leave. You leave your little towns, your little hamlets, and you start walking. And you arrive at a cliff and see a gigantic buffet table set out in front of you.
Just like on
Covered.
Survivor.
Covered
what you playing for?
in food. Overlooking a beautiful ocean view. You're really high up on this cliff, and there standing in front of the buffet is the woman that you saw in your dreams, and she is holding 5 heads, 3 in one hand and 2 in the other.
Immediately kneel in reverence. Make me your thralls, blue lady.
So you arrive exhausted and confused at the cliff overlooking the ocean. The scene is exactly as it appeared in your dreams, and you are suddenly grateful, as this must mean you are not insane. There at the edge of the cliff is the woman who has haunted your dreams for months, standing behind a long table set for a banquet. The woman is nearly 7 feet tall, wearing tattered finery of deepest blue, and for the first time you see her face. Somehow her head is that of the statue of a woman. Her features are inanimate and softened as if rain and wind has eroded the statue head over time. In her left hand she holds 2 severed human heads by the hair. In her right she holds 3. As you approach, she holds up all 5 as if to greet you with their dead faces. Then those dead eyes open, and the 5 heads speak to you in unison, each in their own voice. Welcome, brave friends. I know you have many questions, but let them wait for now. I know you must be exhausted from your journey. Sit, eat, and rest. All of your questions shall be answered this day. You notice that one of the heads, a pale-skinned outlander with bright red hair, speaks in a foreign tongue. And then she walks over to the cliff, still holding the heads, and she's looking out over the ocean. As you look at this banquet table, like I said, it's covered in dishes, all kinds of awesome foods. But you notice that like 2 out of every 10 of these dishes are ruined. Like one of them is a leg of lamb that's got maggots all over it. Another one is a bowl of fruit covered in fungus. But then the other 8 beside it are perfect. And that just pattern just keeps repeating.
Oh, wow.
She's turned away from you with the heads, and she's looking out over the ocean, and you have this buffet set up before you. What would you like to do?
Look for the most delicious thing and eat it.
Okay. So you get you a big old plate of that. Looks like roasted pheasant.
Love roasted pheasant.
Under glass.
And do remember that none of you know each other, including your own characters. So
Dink Fizz Whistle looks up at the lady. He's like, "Ma'am, what did you mean by helping to slay my enemies? Are you finally going to help me slay my piece of shit boss?
she doesn't
I hate
turn.
that guy."
She doesn't turn, and she doesn't answer. And but somebody in the crowd there is like, she said our questions will be answered after we sit, eat, and rest.
Everybody else just sits down and starts stuffing their face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chong's not very bright. He eats a little bit of the rotten stuff too. He don't care.
doesn't. Does anybody else eat any of the rotten food?
Porster does, because that's
Okay.
all he knows how to eat.
As far as food the kid is concerned, there's no such thing as rotten food.
Get your slop.
Slop for the hogs.
Food the kid is not eating food in general, so he's just gonna fucking take whatever he can get.
If my character has a lucky roll of survived the plague, does the rotten food affect him?
No, I mean, you guys, it's strange, but you've noticed, some of your characters that aren't eating rotten food are kind of looking at the ones that do, like, Life's rough enough. Why would you do this? But nobody's getting sick from it. Each player give me an intelligence roll. Each player. You
Okay.
can base it on your highest intelligence character.
Who is the least dumb one I have? This is not looking good. Well, unfortunately, appears to be Grumbo.
Everyone that rolls over a 10, let me know.
I got 17.
15.
Okay, so 2 of you did. All right, the 2 of you are talking to each other. Well, your characters are talking to each other, and you overhear some of the other characters talking about where they came from, and you know how everybody noticed that there are signs for a town that's nearby called Merkin. It's a fishing village pretty close by. You just overhear that in conversation. Do you want to do anything else, or are you guys just gonna feast?
Yeah. Gonna feast and then rest and see what she says.
We'll say it's around 1 p.m. After everyone has gotten their fill and they've sat around resting, smoking pipes, chatting amongst each other, she turns back around and walks over to the head of the table, and she says, or she holds the heads up, and the heads in unison say, "Thank you, friends, for taking the dangerous journey to be here today. I know each of you, your minds and your hearts, and yet I must keep my identity veiled. If I were even to think my true name, it would instantly be sensed by our enemies, and they would race here to break our fellowship and confound our plans. Please let me be known to you as the Lady in Blue. Trust that I am a friend and not one that would mislead you. Know this, our enemies, who are indeed the enemies of all right-thinking people of this world, have kept you from living the lives you were meant to live. Each of you was born under the wrong stars, a misfortune fostered upon you by our enemies, but I wish to be your ally. I can set this misfortune right. If you wish to have me for an ally, I ask just this, that tonight, when the full moon reaches the top of the sky, you step off that cliff and onto an invisible bridge that does not yet exist, but shall exist tonight. This bridge will take you on a long journey of many days across the ocean. This journey will be difficult, and some of you may not live to see its end. But those who do shall find the hole in the sky, a portal to another world. That world is a prison, and its warden is a titan, a fierce creature that cannot be slain by mortal means. The titan keeps a prisoner in a cage of alderwood. Its prisoner is our ally, and to say her name aloud would give my presence away to our enemies. At this, the Lady in Blue takes a cup of wine from the banquet table and pours it there on the dusty ground. And for the briefest of moments, you see this. A word appears on the ground, and the word is Dresta. A moment later, a mass of beetles bubble up from the earth and devour the word. An instant later, they disappear, only leaving bare ground. Never speak the name aloud. Friends, I would ask that you take this bridge tonight under the full moon to the hole in the sky. Free our ally. Those who do shall be my trusted friends, and I shall set their stars right with this. She turns and gestures, and you hear an immense tearing noise, as if the spinning of the world was grinding to a halt. Incredibly, a seam opens in the morning sky, and you're looking through into another world, one where a massive black monolith is the epicenter of what seems like the mother of all storms. The wind blows so hard you are all shoved back several feet, almost to the edge of the cliff. As your eyes adjust, you see the monolith is actually the edge of an immense black wheel. The wheel turns slowly and seems to be made of the night sky itself. You see stars clustered in groups or shining along its surface. As it spins, you feel as if reality itself might slip from beneath your feet at any moment. You clearly hear every word the Lady in Blue speaks despite the hurricane winds. This is the Wheel of Destiny. one of the posters of the universe. For each brave friend who aids in the rescue of our ally and returns, I shall allow them to spin it once. One time, and the true destiny you were meant for shall be yours. With another gesture, the lady closes the seam in the sky. The winds dissipate. You see that the remnants of your feast have all been blown into the ocean. God, that's a lot of words.
I was expecting a paradise.
Well, if there's one thing I know for sure about people who are a friend that would never ever deceive you, it's that they openly say, "I'm a friend and will never ever deceive you." So
She has my full trust.
I trust her.
I'm in.
I
So,
think no bad results from this.
yeah.
Hell no. This is gonna be great.
No one in my party of 4 in any way believes that this is going to lead to their untimely death.
No. Some of these other clowns might fall, but not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it's everybody else.
Yeah, there's 16 total people here. None of my 4 are going to be killed. Maybe one of the other 12.
All right, so she stops talking finally. Thank God. What do you want to do?
We got to wait till midnight before this magic bridge appears.
Yeah, so she said, yeah, ask me any questions you want about all those words. The only question I want answered was, can you repeat that? I will never repeat that.
Dink Fizz Whistle raises his hand.
Yeah, she said that when the moon is at the top of the sky,
right.
an invisible bridge will appear, and she wants you to step off the cliff onto it.
Actually, said an invisible bridge is going to appear off the edge of the cliff, any particular spot, and she points somewhere.
She just points out over the
So we get to go.
cliff.
It's wherever we believe the bridge is gonna be.
Oh, okay. Leap of faith. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Dink Whistle.
He's like, Dink Fizz Whistle is like, yeah, Blue Lady, I'm along with you for the invisible bridge and the moon in the sky and stuff. But if I spin the wheel of destiny, does that mean I finally get to exact my revenge on my awful chicken shit boss that keeps shorting me on the amount of trees I cut down every day?
I mean, like I said, her face is stone, and the heads are turned and looking at Dink. They say, the true destiny you were meant for shall be yours.
Good enough for Dink Fizz Whistle. Let's go.
Anybody else?
No, my guys start clapping like seals. Yes, 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 yes.
She's holding the heads and turning, like they're each looking at each of your characters as if waiting for any question you might have. So I'm going to go down the list. So Micah, anything else?
No, nothing else from me.
Novi?
No, my minstrel was going to pull out his ukulele and murder a team.
Okay. AJ?
Yeah, we just said about occupying ourselves until night falls and the moon is at its highest point in the sky.
Yeah. AJ?
Rudy's going to ask what happened to her face.
How do you look like that?
No response.
Rudy
Why
gives her
come-
his charming
How come
smile.
you be looking like that?
The heads turn away from Rudy.
That's all I got.
John?
No, my guys just keep clapping like seals.
She turns with the heads in her hand and walks towards the edge of the cliff, and you expect her to fall off, but she just disappears. So you are now standing on a cliff. All of the food and the table blew off into the ocean. What do you want? And it's 1 p.m. What do you want to do?
Dewey Cheatham, he's a only smart guy. He's going to note where she disappeared off a cliff and draw an X right there in the dirt.
Okay.
Pretty smart, Mr. Dewey.
Turnip Tim kind of falls over onto the ground and proceeds to take a nap because he's so stuffed.
And Dewey Cheatham's going to try to sweet talk somebody out of a coin. He's confident of it.
Chonk, Dink, and Grumbo are sitting in sitting in a triangle playing some kind of dice game to occupy themselves.
Okay. So Novi, if your character's trying to talk somebody out of something, is it one of your other characters or one of these guys' characters?
One of their characters.
Okay. Who would you like him to approach?
I'll tell you what, we're going to do it like this. What are your characters again, AJ?
Basic, Chetta, Rudy, and Tarentum.
I'm going to go for Rudy.
Rudy.
Yep.
You picked the one with the intelligence of 3, so I think that's a good choice.
He's pulling up on somebody wearing a helmet,
Yeah.
licking the tree next to him.
Yeah.
All right, Noe, what are you telling Rudy?
So, that was a good question you asked her about why her face looks like that, because I was wondering that myself.
I mean,
So,
her face looks weird. I want to know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Let's brainstorm on this. Because,
Oh, man. It's not my strong suit.
He's got a lot to offer here.
He's got the storm, but not the brain.
yeah. Oh, I do have. I have 23 copper pieces. I'm going to pull out a copper piece. I'm saying, tell you what. You got any cash on you?
Oh, yeah. And I pull out my entire wallet of 37 copper pieces.
Yeah, this big. I'm gonna say, hey, I'll tell you what. He said, let me see one of your coins, because I want to see if the coins I have, if they're similar. So I want to see if the heads match up. Maybe that's where she gets her head from, because you look like a smart fella.
Oh, yeah. No. Immediately hand Novi over one of my coins.
Okay.
Zero hesitation. Be like, hold on, I think I have a different one here. I think it's from the town next door, and I hand him 2 copper pieces.
There we go. I'm gonna hold up to a guy and shit and look at him and flip him around and shit, even though my luck is atrocious.
Oh no, you're just trying to trick him, right?
Yeah, what would that be?
That would be
Intelligence? Or
yeah. Do your intelligence against his. Whoever
That's
rolls
big
higher
fat,
wins.
-1. I rolled a 7, so
Yeah. So your 7 beats his -1.
yeah.
Yeah, and you got those copper pieces.
All right, cool.
But the good thing is your character, AJ Rudy, is happy about it. Feels like
yeah.
he did a good thing.
I'm telling you, there's something to choose. Let me hold on to these, and I got to investigate them a little bit further. I'll get them back to you as soon as I figure out what's going on.
Spreading knowledge in the world. I just feel so accomplished.
All right, so you guys have about 10 hours until it's midnight. Are you going to do anything, or you going to sit on the edge of this cliff for 10 hours?
I've just learned that Turnip Tim, I was looking through my inventory items. Turnip Tim has brought his cow with him, so he is
bad.
awoken. He is awoken from his nap by his cow. So he wakes
feel
up and
bad.
stands up off the grass and goes over to tend to his cow. He's just been like standing over him like.
Festus brought his goat. Just so y'all know, Festus beats what brought his goat with him. So the goat and the cow, we can hang out.
So 16 people and 2 farm animals.
Yep.
3,
good.
I got a sheep.
3
Sheep.
farm
Oh,
animals.
farm animals. Yeah, we can start our own fucking farm or doing a ranch. Shit.
My fortune teller goes off into a corner and starts like drawing shit in the ground and like trying to tell the fortune of what's gonna happen at midnight, because that's just what he likes to do.
Okay. Do you want to do something with that for real?
Yeah, I
Like,
do.
okay,
I want to roll
so-
for that.
Okay, give me a roll. Give me a luck.
Yeah, it was awful.
What'd you get? 13?
13.
Yeah. So, how does your fortune teller do this? With cards, with bones, tea leaves, what teeth? I mean,
Let's see what he's. He has a tarot deck.
tarot deck. Okay.
Yeah, so he's doing.
So he's laying out the tarot cards, and I know next to nothing about tarot cards. So I'm
so
just
you
gonna.
could just make it up.
I am. Yeah, I'll make it all up. Because it ain't in the
Which one?
book.
Which one of you all had an astrologer? Yeah, this is going to be maybe the astrologer catches his eye while he's got the cards all flayed out.
I'm actually this fortune teller. It's gonna be great.
So you had a really good roll. So what we're going to say is this: you decided to lay out your cards in such a way that they would give you images of the best path to take for this journey. How's that? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
The first card is Fisherman. The next one shows a very narrow path going through somewhere. And the third card shows a hole in the ground, multiple holes in the ground, and death. And you stop
Okay.
with that.
So death is the best way to handle this.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you decide what all that meant.
It'd be funny if you were a legitimate fortune teller, but also a moron. Like it succeeded every time, but you misread your own fortunes.
Your fortune teller with terrible insight.
No, that's actually true. I have 7 intelligence on this character, so
Oh hell yeah!
But that was the order of your cards. First was a fisherman. The second was a narrow path. The third was a bunch of holes with death.
got it. Cool.
All right, does he want to say anything to people based on that?
We're all gonna die. That's what he interpreted from that last. Is like there will be multiple holes in the ground and we'll all die. And he just like is walking around in a circle saying that over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, Chonk's sitting there playing his dice game, you know, with the other 2 guys, and he just mutters under his breath, "Speak for yourself, witch."
All right, we can either fast forward to midnight, or you guys can continue to do things that you'd like to do. You tell
I got
me.
one thing, Shane.
Turnip Tim
Okay.
and his cow are happy. I don't have anything else to do.
All right,
I'm
AJ.
petting my goat.
Is there a large tree or a large mass near the X that Novi's character marked? Because my astrologer has a grappling hook that I want to try to attach before I go onto the bridge.
Yeah, we'll say that there isn't a tree, but there's like
Big rock.
boulders that you could jam it, wedge it between, things like that on the edge, for
Let's do
sure.
that. Yeah, can I wedge it into the rocks and
Yeah.
attach the rope around my waist?
Yeah, that's a good idea. You don't even have to roll for it.
Nice.
Anything
Goodness, the
else?
stats suck.
All right.
That's it for me.
Nobody else. All right. Just remember, I gave you a chance. Hours have passed. It is now dark, but the full moon has risen up over the ocean, and it is midnight, and it is there in the sky, high above, shining out over the sea. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go where the X was. I drew the X on the dirt, and so the moon's where it needs to be, right? As far as we know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna reach
as far as
down.
you know.
I'm gonna reach down, take a handful of dirt, throw it off the cliff in front of me.
Grumbo pulls up behind whichever guy that is and pushes him off. Register a couple of these guys is actually chaotic this time, so
That's fine. You give me a strength check against Novi's character's strength check.
Oh, dang.
And
I
when
rolled
we-
a 12 and my strength is a 12.
Okay, so you beat Novi's character.
Yeah,
So
fine.
Novi's character walks up, picks up a chunk of dirt, and throws it, and at the same time, your character runs up behind him. Grumbo runs up behind Dewey and shoves him, and Dewey goes flailing forward off the edge of the cliff and lands flat on his face. Bam! And hits, and it looks like he's floating in the air along with some clods of dirt around his head. Dewey, it feels like cobblestones under your hand and face. But you are laying out looking probably 200 yards down at the ocean,
Oh shit!
just floating.
I'm gonna slowly pull myself to my feet.
Hugs his shoulders, like, had to see if it would work.
Loading over the ocean.
That is, and all this black at the bottom is the cliff. Novi, we're going to start with you. You've got 3 characters left. What do you want them to do? Where do you want them to go?
They're all watching to see what Dewey was gonna do till Grumbo pulled the douchebag card. Festus is going to Corn Farmer. He is in full agreement with Dewey. Is going to step out off the edge of the cliff.
Okay. Is he going to step out directly behind him to
Yeah.
the right, to the left? What?
Right, directly behind him.
Festus steps out and lands on invisible cobblestone.
All right, so I'm going to have Grundle and Kunta. One's going to go to the left, and one's going to go to the right of Festus.
They both step out and land on cobblestone. So now we'll go to Micah.
Dink Fizzwhistle is satisfied that there is at least some kind of road here, and this woman wasn't lying. So he's got his only weapon equipment item is a staff. So he is going to step out and like feel the path in front of him with his staff like a blind guy to make sure there's actually something there before he
Okay.
goes any further walking along.
All right, so, but where is he going to do that? Is he going to do it to the left?
Can I have him step up here in front?
No,
Dewey?
you'd have to walk through them. They literally have just taken up enough space to step out on this.
If I hit right here with my staff, do I actually feel solid?
Yeah, it cracks. It's like crack, crack, crack.
Okay, in that case, yeah, Dink Fizzwhistle steps up right here.
All right. There's Dink.
Actually, I'll tell you what, he'll check to make sure that this is solid
It is.
and walk up one more.
Okay.
Just behind him is going to be Grumbo,
All right.
because Grumbo almost killed a man for this, so he's sure that there's solid ground. And Chonk and Turnip Tim are not getting out here yet because Turnip Tim doesn't want to leave his favorite cow, and Chonk's trying to persuade him. They're standing on the side of the cliff, and Chonk's like, "Come on, man, you got to leave him behind. Don't you want to spin the wheel of destiny? Say bye to the cow, man. They're not pets."
Festus is bringing his goat.
All right. AJ.
I want the guy who has the grappling hook and the rope around his waist to step out to the left of, just bottom left.
Okay, and which guy is that?
Basic, the dude with the green hood.
All right. Basic steps out onto invisible cobblestone.
Can I have the other three just sort of pal behind the middle three back guys?
Okay, the middle three guys are out on the invisible bridge. Behind them is the cliff.
Oh, okay.
You can't get past them. You
Gotcha.
have
We
to
have to.
push them forward. I mean, I don't care if you do that. You're welcome to shove them if you want, whatever. But
Let's do it. I'm gonna push the dude on the between my guy and the guy with the shovel. So
okay,
Cheddah's gonna push the minstrel.
yeah. Say he doesn't see it coming and he staggers forward.
Hell
All
yeah.
right, so Cheddar then steps out.
Who do I have left? I got two left. I'm gonna have Rudy go to the right of is that Grumbo?
Yes.
It's like, hey guys, look, watch me do a cannonball. And he's just gonna just
This worked so well last time.
bottom right dwarf guy.
This guy.
This is
okay, so
Grumbo.
he's going to go to the right of him.
Yep.
This is Rudy.
Yep.
All right. So Rudy steps out here, and Rudy, give me a reflex save.
Reflex. Reflex. -1, baby. Oh, I got a 10.
10. Okay. So Rudy, you step out there, and your left foot is on cobblestone, and your right just goes off into nothing, and you slip and fall, but you grab the edge, and
Help.
you're able to pull yourself back up.
Help.
But you're like leaning against Grumbo there because there's very little space. There's enough for
no
one foot.
floor. There's no floor here. I gotta just hop on 1 foot the whole way.
All right. So Tarrington, do you want him to the right of Rudy? Or
Tarrington's gonna shove what I assume is the little boy there in the middle.
yeah, okay.
Oh.
That's all four of yours. And then we have John.
So Flapbo the halfling, he's gonna run between everyone's legs right down the middle as far as he can.
Okay. How many spaces can he go?
He's got 30 feet. So what's that?
5 foot per space.
6.
6 spaces. He gets to there.
Suckers.
I know that small child portrait.
I'm going to get to the wheel before you.
I'm gonna spin the wheel of destiny first. Let's see. The fortune teller's gonna stand on the cliff, and he's still just like pacing around, being crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room here. Thanks, guys, for not going into the bridge far enough. The Porster is gonna push. He's gonna try to push the purple dude, the purple-haired dude. This guy.
The elf.
Yeah, just push him forward so he can get on the bridge too.
Yeah, so we'll do this real quick. All the guys that are in the front, do you want to step forward to make room?
Yeah, I'll move up one.
I want to be on the bridge.
So Porster then steps in behind.
And then the same with Guma.
You want to the right of Porster, left?
To the left.
Left. So I think that's everybody, but we've still got the fortune teller on the cliff and Micah's. Don't you have somebody on the cliff?
Turnip Tim has finished saying goodbye to his favorite cow, and Chonk and Tim Blorbo both.
You don't want to take the cow?
Well,
That's
you know what? No, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Turnip Tim is not going to be separated from his cow. He's got a rope tied around its neck, and he drags it out onto the invisible bridge.
All right.
Good. Festus is bringing his goat.
So I'm not going to put out tokens for goats and cows. You guys just remember it. We've got 16 tokens here, so that's plenty. All right. So how about fortune teller?
So let's get him on the bridge next to, right there. I still think this is a bad idea, guys.
So it's midnight. The moon is illuminating the ocean that is a long way below you. And I assume you guys are just going to start walking. All right.
Yep.
I think we press on.
So you're walking through the night. The bridge is gently rising until you're about a half mile above the ocean. And you walk, and eventually dawn breaks. And it's sunny. There's no land in sight. Ahead of you, behind you, nowhere. And it's pretty cold. So you've walked through the night. It's now morning. Do you want to do anything in particular or keep walking?
Did we ask how long this bridge was going to be here? I think that was an important question to ask the statue.
No, but she did tell you that
Really
it
told
would
it's a
take
long journey.
days
Yep.
to get across to find the portal in the sky.
Well, good thing we got a goat, a sheep, and a cow.
All right. So are you going to keep walking or what are you guys going to do?
How about you? I'm walking on it. I'm getting tired. It's only
Talk amongst yourselves if you want to do
I
something.
mean, we could take a break.
let's sit down
We
and rest for a minute.
could, if you check your inventories, I bet there's enough stuff here that we could make a little camp. I mean, I got a guy with some flint. We could slaughter a goat. Also, some idiot brought holy water and a lantern for whatever reason. Yeah, good move out here in the middle of the ocean, dumbass.
The fortune teller says, the first omen is the fisherman. And he just keeps repeating that over and over again.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. We should fish.
The
My,
fishermen, they're coming for us.
Yeah. Anybody got a half mile long piece of
Yeah,
filament?
I have a spyglass. Can I pull out the spyglass and scope out the ocean and see if I find any fishermen?
Yeah. You don't. You
Well, that was easy.
yeah. Don't even have to roll for that
I
one.
was going to roll for it. No, don't need it.
No, motherfucker.
Turnip Tim's inventory specifies he's got 50 foot of rope.
And I mean, you can use it more than once, but right now there's nothing out on the ocean that's visible to you.
See lots of water.
Yeah, lots of beautiful water, beautiful deep blue, and those shadows that are in the picture, those aren't anything, so don't worry about it.
All the shadows say.
So, are you guys going to rest for a while, or are
Yeah.
you going to keep
We're walk-
walking?
We're walking on that.
All right. So you sit there, and I mean, you're kind of getting used to it, and then you look down, and it's unnerving. I mean, you're a
Turnip
half
Tim has
mile
to stop
up
because
in the
he's worried
sky.
about his favorite cow.
You're over 2,000 feet above the water, and the cows are mooing and freaking out, leaving a trail behind you. Yeah. So who owns the cow?
That is Turnip Tim Blorbo.
Okay, Turnip Tim Blorbo, give me a luck check.
Man, I've got some terrible luck.
Now roll for the cow.
Who owns the goat?
The cow probably has better luck than Brother Tim does, unfortunately.
That'd be, it's Festus.
Okay. Festus, give me a luck check. Oh, nice. Festus, you know that from the moment that you
Goat's a
stepped
cow.
out on that bridge, that goat's been freaked out. So it's been just crapping nonstop. All right? Just like every 10 feet, this thing's just crapping. and you look back, and there's a trail of it in the air that ends about 60 feet behind you.
Oh,
Who stopped?
Takes this deadly seriously. He's like, we Goat says we can keep moving. Okay, we keep moving. Go.
Yep, double time.
So that's what Micah and Novi's characters think. AJ and John, give me your best intellect checks.
There you go.
A 3. That's nice.
I'm about to roll.
Okay.
That's even better.
3.
3. A 5 and a 3. Yeah. Nothing dawns on you. You're just like, wow, they're probably right. We got to keep moving. So you guys keep moving, and about midday, it starts raining, which is miserable up here because it's cold and you're wet, and the cows are pitching, mooing nonstop. The goats freaking out. And you just keep walking, and you keep walking, and you keep walking. And by late afternoon, a storm kicks in. And you're out over the middle of the ocean, and the waves are just crashing. And this storm, the wind's whipping, there's lightning, you're freezing. And I need each one of you to give me a luck check.
Each person or each character.
No, just the players.
Oh, 1. Oh,
Did
shit.
anyone get a 10 or higher?
I'm looking for who has the best luck.
Can I spend a luck to boost my die roll up?
Yeah,
This has been the luck to boost your luck.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you're clear, Novi. How about Micah?
No, there you
Hell
go.
17.
Okay. AJ, what'd you get?
Got a 9.
Got a 9. You can burn 1 luck permanently to get a 10 if you'd like.
Doing it.
Okay. John, what'd you get?
1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah, looks like it.
All right. Roll a 1d4.
4.
So this storm is just raging, and like I said, you guys are freezing, and everybody's having to get down low because the wind's blowing so hard. And you guys hear a scream, and the fortune teller is blown off into the air and plummets a half mile to the ocean below and disappears in the waves.
What an asshole.
But you do notice some of his cards are laying there in midair. The fisherman card is gone.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. He's not necessarily dead. I mean,
No, he's dead. He fell a
dead.
half mile to the
I'm
ocean.
kidding, yeah.
He's dead. He's gone.
I told you it was not right.
Does anyone have a stamina of 7 or lower?
Yep.
Okay, any character that has a stamina of 7 or lower starts to get sick. They're just worn down from this. The wind and the cold are just making them ill. And as a result of that, you'll take a -1 penalty on attacks, damage, ability checks, and skill checks that relate to strength, agility, or stamina.
Can I notice? Can Rudy notice John's character who's sort of flagging behind and feeling sick and just sort of prop his arm around and help so he doesn't get the debuff?
No, you can help him, though.
I'll help him.
Okay. Rudy Rutabaga here.
Rudy. Fresh and
Me
fruity.
helping you. You keep going until the storm abates around midnight, and it's just clear sky then. It's still cold, you're exhausted, and you're really not going to be able to continue going without rest. If you push yourself, you're just going to get sick.
right.
I mean, you're welcome to try it.
These idiots don't have any other plans. They'll just rest
Okay. I'm
until
going
they're no longer
to...
tired.
Yeah.
Can we assess how far our weird poop breadcrumbs are doing behind us on the bridge? Before we
How
go to
would you
sleep?
like to do that?
I have a spyglass. Can I see how far the trail is?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
60 feet.
It's still dropping.
Hmm?
It's still We can see the poop falling.
Well, you can't see any poop at all now because you just came through a storm.
Fair. It's all washed away.
Literally blew a character away, so there's no poop.
Do we see the water hitting the bridge behind us? Like, do we see droplets bouncing off of the? Or does,
Yeah.
okay. How about we stay here for an hour and then see if the bridge is still 60 feet behind us?
Yeah,
Because
I would
maybe
sort of
it's
like
only-
to know, like, is it moving with time or is it moving as we're moving?
Can one of us have 50 foot of rope?
That's
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
right
help
now-
you because it's 60.
No.
So you're 10 feet
No.
shy.
Can I finish?
Your character is stupid.
No, he's not.
Remember?
No. Most of them are. One of them isn't.
Yeah, you can do something with the rope. Too. AJ's plan is a valid plan. He can see where the water stops splashing midair,
Okay.
and he can measure that roughly as 60 feet. If you'd like to do something with rope, you can.
I'm saying if we can take that 50 foot piece of rope and stretch it out behind us,
Yeah.
that way we'll know when we're released, the edge of the thing is 50 feet away.
Well, Turnip
Good
Tim has
idea.
the rope, but he's not willing to give it up because it's currently tied to his cow.
Sure, think about that.
You're gonna have to negotiate with one of John's characters for the grappling hook.
Or just throw Turnip Tim into the ocean. That's an option. And the cow.
Yep,
Yeah.
we can do that.
He's holding onto the rope and drags the cow into the ocean with him.
You want to wait an hour?
Yeah.
Okay, you wait an hour and there's no difference.
Okay.
It's still 60 feet.
So assumption is it's moving with us.
Yeah, you're also pretty hungry because you've been going over, you've probably gone 36 hours now.
That cow looks pretty good. But I guess maybe we should go for the goat first. It's smaller.
True.
Nobody have any food with them?
Oh, hell yeah. I got a stinky
Besides
cheese.
counting the goat.
I like the
Stinky cheese
cheese. I
and
can
a
steal
sheep.
some. I can steal some food from somebody.
You would think a guy named Turnip Tim would have thought.
Sleepy turnip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did not.
Maybe he
I
got
bet.
his name because he smells like turnips.
Yeah, I got one guy who brought some herbs.
So I got a guy
That'll
brought
go
some
well
water.
with the meat.
You're gonna have to fight Turnip Tim for this cow, but
gonna
if you could, we could season it up nice.
You've gone about 36 hours without eating, but you did have that big banquet, all right? And I imagine as peasants in this time frame, you've gone many days before without eating. But your overwhelming hunger is going to become worse and worse as you go if you don't eat. So if you guys do decide to turn on the animals and want to fight amongst each other, that is a perfectly good solution. Just throwing that out there for you.
Tim says it all casual, like he's like, "Hey y'all, we brought a goat. Why don't we just eat the goat? Isn't anybody hungry?" as though
Maybe
he's
y'all-
not standing there roped to a cow.
Yeah, that goat.
And maybe I'll kill my woman.
Anyone got anything else to eat?
Rudy has a sheep, and Rudy will take the sheep, set it on the bridge, and say, "Seabiscuit, you will wonderful companion," and then take the pitchfork and just spray blood all over it.
All right, now you have a dead, raw, uncleaned sheep. What would you
Tartar.
like to do?
It's tartar.
Tartar.
No, we can make this work. Anybody got anything you can burn? Because I've got a flint.
One of my characters brought their like
I've got a goat.
fancy suit with them. It can burn clothes. And I got a baking bowl to burn the clothes in.
Do we have a container? Because I have oil. I have a flask of oil.
Ooh, I have a baking bowl.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay, this might work.
We're gonna fry us up some sheep.
I got an iron
Yeah.
spike.
Like a
We can
quarter
use
of an
this as a
ounce at a
sparkler.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go stir it with the spike.
Oh, you can got like a flint and steel kind of thing, I guess, man.
A skewer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Y'all aren't going to roll for any of this. I just want to hear you do it.
Oh, okay. Well, Tutti Kinte's got a strange rock, and Dewey's got a iron spike. He's using it as a flint and steel.
Yeah,
And
this
see if
is
we can
awesome.
start light the oil on fire in the begging bowl.
So y'all are gonna cook and eat this sheep about an inch at a time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, Chonk
like
has a dagger, and so he
There you
just like cuts the sheep open and just cuts a little part out of it and takes it over to roast it, and then hands the dagger to the next guy to cut a tiny little piece out.
Dewey's got a dagger too, so he can do that too.
This is like tapas.
Oh, actually, Rumble's
Exactly.
got a dagger too. Hell, two of my characters have daggers, so we can speed this up a little bit.
Yeah, these
Nice.
these peasants will never understand this, but people in real cities pay a lot of money for this experience.
I know.
Right. You eat heartily. You floss with some of the sheep wool. And are you guys gonna rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
my guys are. I know we've been walking 36 hours. I know my guys are tired.
All right. So we're gonna say you guys take a nice full night break and get you some sleep before we start into our day 3 of the journey. And those that have slept all night. Yeah, so see, that was because you all passed your luck roll, and the only reason John didn't get a reflex save was because he rolled a 1 on his luck. So his guy just went to the ocean. He had to. It was calling. So those of you that slept through the night that were sick are no longer sick. That healed you. You keep walking for several hours, and you notice that the invisible bridge is slowly going downwards now, closer towards the ocean. And it keeps going down as the hour passes. And far off in the distance, you see some object in the water. And it's a long ways off. Would anybody like to do anything? Anybody got anything they'd like to try? Or
Spyglass. I can see what it is from a distance.
you can. So you hold the spyglass up and look in this direction, and apparently a giant ship with its main mast crashed into the invisible bridge.
Oh.
And the mast is sticking up against nothing, right? From here, you've reckoned out that it hit it, it crashed, and it's leaning against the bridge, probably a couple miles ahead of you.
There might be supplies in that. And I relay that information to the rest of the group. And I was like, there might be supplies down there if we can crawl down to the ship and then get back on the bridge.
Yeah, Chonk's starting to get cold feet about this whole thing. He's like, we've been doing this for 2 days. There was supposed to be a portal out here. This is bullshit. We took advice from statue ladies that showed up in our dreams.
Eat rotten food.
Yeah, Chonk ate the rotten food too.
It sucks.
So you guys, are you going to keep going forward?
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
possibility of more food and maybe some water and shit like that in the boat.
All right. So as you get closer and closer to this, it is indeed exactly what you were told. It's a ship that is wrecked, and its main mast is sticking up at your level. Like you could walk up and grab this thing. And you see the red square that I've so artistically drawn.
God damn, that's fucking stunning.
That is the tip of the mast.
Hanging in the damn loo.
Right.
Yeah, is it on fire?
No.
Oh.
I was, my muse struck, and I went with red.
No, I mean the boat
makes sense.
Well, you're used to it. Okay.
Yeah, that was a purely artistic choice.
Well, okay.
It's the Titanic.
It was a nice choice. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Below you is the wreck of a merchant ship. Its main mast splintered from crashing into the invisible bridge upon which you walk. Swarms of sea shrikes dart around the tattered sails, and the fresh corpses of sailors litter the deck, their flesh being devoured by the creatures. Suddenly, you see one of the bodies twitch. It's the ship's ballista man, covered with several of the creatures, greedily sucking out his blood. His hooked hand, a gold thing covered in gems, feebly gouges one of the creatures, pinning it to the deck. His remaining eye looks up at you, and with his other hand, he reaches towards you, begging for help. That's what these things look like. They're like giant buzzards. They're all covered in warts and nasty and They're about your size.
That cow is shaking right now.
The cow is not happy. Chonk wants to pet one.
How far down is it to the deck of the ship?
How tall would you imagine a mast of one of these ships being?
Tall,
I'm not.
tall enough to crash into this bridge.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
100 feet, like an ocean going, like an old ocean going schooner ship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I imagine, got at least 75 feet.
okay, well we'll go with that
Roughly?
number.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
I have
thinking
no
the
idea.
75 to 100 foot
Yeah,
ballpark,
500
probably.
foot. Yeah.
You're still high enough that if you fell off the bridge,
Sure.
you'd die from the impact of hitting the water. But
Yeah.
you're low enough to the ocean that this thing crashed into it. So these sea shrikes, like I said, are flying around the bridge, ripping people apart.
Can we just like whistle nothing to see here meme and just like walk right past this whole ship?
Just keep on walking.
I was
Yep.
thinking that Dinkle's whistle is like he's feeling around with that cane still, wondering if the bridge just keeps going.
No fishermen here. Keep it going.
Yeah, dude is kind of like, not my problem.
Yeah, and there's one right here. You can
That's it.
see it below, right, through the invisible
Seven.
bridge.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, the ballista man's laying there with his one hooked hand that's covered in gems and jewels slammed into one of these things that's dead on the deck, and then he's reaching up towards you guys with one eye has been plucked out. So you're going to attempt to keep going, or what?
Who's got the child in front?
That's my child.
That's a halfling.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I have a vial of holy water, and I'm gonna pour it on the guy below.
Okay.
See what happens.
Give me a d20 roll.
11.
Yeah, so you pour it, and because of the distance, because of the wind over the ocean, it just disperses it everywhere as it pours out of the vial.
Checks out. Hey, y'all down. Sorry, that's all I've got.
Well, you can drop the vial on him now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, might as well just like chunk it down at him. What happens then?
Give me a roll.
Does he see this? Does he just yell out like, "I'm not thirsty"?
Oh, it's only got one eye.
A 9.
Nope. Just falls into the ocean.
Sorry, I tried twice.
Man, you're unlucky, buddy.
Maybe the next thing I should do is just throw my begging bowl at him.
Yeah, I think you should yell down. I think you're gonna die.
Good luck, feller.
Being that he's a lawful alignment and he's got an incredibly high personality role, said, "We gotta help that guy." And he's gonna go. I'm gonna go to the mast or the thing and see if I can climb down the mast.
Okay. Yes, you can do that. And you go to the mast and give me either a agility or strength check. And who is going down the mast?
Test this.
Festus.
Yep. So my strength is worse than my agility, so I'll do an agility check.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice. Holy crap. Yeah, you get on there and it's like he was born to do this. I mean, you're like swiveling down the pole, spiraling all the way down to the bottom. And you get down there and he is laying there, and these giant shrikes, they're tearing corpses apart as you land several feet away from him.
is there anything else I can do?
I mean, you can attack the one that's on him if you'd like.
That's what I was gonna do.
Something like that. All
That's
right.
what I was gonna do.
Okay. How are you going to attack it?
I have a pitchfork.
I was fully expecting Noe to go for the mercy kill.
Well, this guy's lawful, so you know.
Fair.
That is for sure what Grumbo is going to do. He's a pickpocket anyway. He's interested in that big jeweled hook hand.
It just happens to end up in your pocket.
There we go.
It'd be that way sometimes.
Something happened.
Yeah. So you stab at the shrike, and it just moves away, and then it's back on him, ripping at him. He's dead now, by the way. About this time, some of these shrikes jump off of the ship and start flying, and they're squawking. One of them, which is apparently the leader, makes this strange sound. It's like, it's communication. And then all the shrikes look up towards the bridge, except for the one that's nearest Novi that you stabbed at. And it takes to the air and is coming back around towards you. We go into combat mode.
There you go.
Now, what you're supposed to do in this situation, since there's so many, is let each player roll, and then based on the turn order, all of their characters go at once. But once you hit level 1, you stop doing that. So are you guys fine with us just ripping through it like this?
Yeah.
Because since we're using Foundry, it makes it a lot easier. These things have taken to the air, and all of them are in the air, right? In the locations that you see them, except for the one that's right here, closest to Novi.
All right.
And so we start combat with the Minstrel.
It's got a ukulele and a dagger. So right, a whole lot I can do from here.
No. Do you want to move somewhere? You can move.
Sing us a motivational song.
I don't think about that. So the bird, they just took the air, but they're flying towards us, or they just took to the air.
They're coming towards
Okay.
them.
All right, I'm gonna move up a little bit just so I got some room to maneuver to there.
Okay. Elvin Forrester.
He's just gonna move and also get closer to this mast in case we got to come off this bridge. That's
Okay.
all for him.
The one at the top here, I'm going to mark with a special mark that shows that it's on the ship with Novi, so you guys don't get confused. This is the one that just flew onto the bridge. Now it's the Elven Artisan's turn.
I'm going to have the Elven Artisan, who was lawful, sees the strike closest to the not child, but still runs up and then attacks the strike with his staff.
Does a 14 hit? It does. Fantastic.
2 whole points
2
of
points
damage.
of damage. Nice. So the Elven Artisan runs forward and cracks this thing in the head, and it squawks. One side of its head is caved in. It's flapping around. It's in bad shape. Yeah, this thing's hurt.
All right.
Yep. All right, it's the corn farmer's turn.
All right, I'm gonna attack the one down there that killed. Well, I'm down on the boat.
Yeah, and so is it.
Okay. All right. So I'll go after that. I'll move over here
Okay.
and go after that one.
All right. So what are you attacking it with? The pitchfork?
Pitchfork, yeah.
Yeah, roll pitchfork again. It missed. So you stab at it and it steps back.
Holy, that pitchfork
let's
does
see.
damage.
Turnip farmer.
12 points of damage. Holy shit.
So this has turned out to be the one area where Turnip Tim has found his courage because he does not want his cow getting hurt. So he steps up here, makes sure his cow is behind him, so a sea shrike can't get him. Readies his pitchfork.
All right. Slave.
All right, I'm going to move up here. I'm going to
Yeah.
attack him.
Okay. With what?
My club.
All right. Roll your club. Oh, you got him for 3 points. So you walk up and club this thing's brains out, and it is dead.
Nice. I want to stab its corpse with the grappling hook and dangle it off of the bridge for the other strikes to tear apart.
Okay. I'll leave it there and mark
Hell
it
yeah.
as dead. All right. His deed. The sea shrike comes flying in and attacks the slave. He swoops down and attempts to bite the slave. Kunta Kinte. And a 16 hits, I do
Oh, yeah.
believe, for 3 points of damage.
He is dead.
Okay, so he bites his head off. And then it is this sea shrike's turn. And this sea shrike flies into here and attacks the cheesemaker
No.
and tries to bite him.
Shut up.
Oh,
Oh.
PC disarm.
Only one
So
point
your
of damage.
cheese
though.
flies away. Wow, it only did a point of damage.
Yeah. Lucky cheese, baby.
He rips across your chest with his beak, and your cheese flies away. Dwarven Miner, it's his turn.
He's getting a pickaxe to the face.
Nice.
Avenge my cheese.
Ooh, nice. The dwarf runs forward and drives his pickaxe into its skull, killing it immediately.
Nice.
Anything for that cheddar.
Rudy Rutabaga farmer.
That was great. You know what? Both of my actions. First action, finger guns to the dwarven miner. Second action, flipping him a copper piece. Oh, that's it. That's all Rudy's got.
Oh, it's the sea shrike that's with the corn farmer. So it swoops forward and attempts to bite you. Does 11 hit?
Yep.
3 points of damage.
Dead.
Dead. So it bites. It knocks the corn farmer on his back and just rips his throat out and devours him. All right. Next sea shrike comes swooping into here and attacks the turnip farmer. Oh.
Let's see. How much health does he have?
Oh, this thing comes swooping in to attack and slams into the side of the bridge and goes plummeting down and into the ocean. Dead.
Nice.
Oh,
So he's gone.
I didn't know that fail was going to be that bad.
Yeah, he actually rolled a 1.
okay.
Oh.
Cheese maker.
Cheesemaker. Oh, he was the one who wanted to do the finger guns and the copper. Dang it. All right. Well, let's see. How much speed does the cheesemaker have? 30 feet. All right. He's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 here. And he's going to attack the sea shrike with his cudgel.
Nice. And
12.
You rolled a 12. Nice, you hit.
Nice.
How much damage?
4.
Yeah, you crush its skull and it just collapses on the bridge.
All right.
Indeed. Astrologer.
Oh, awesome, man. Astrologer is just going to move up. Just put it right there. That's it.
Man, there's not even any more shrikes around here in range.
How far away are we? Because I know that we have 60 feet worth of bridge, right?
You have 60 feet worth of bridge behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, the cut purse is just going to move.
All right. Indentured servant.
Yeah, he's just gonna move as far as he can. That was enter. Cool.
The remaining sea shrikes start making these weird calls, these weird screeching sounds, and then they fly away.
Ooh.
Sorry, them's the rules.
Yeah.
Man.
Turnip Tim thinks he's a real badass now.
You're standing on the bridge where the slave has died.
Yep.
There are 3 dead sea shrikes crushed, and one of your compadres, the corn farmer, is dead on the ship below. What do you guys want to do?
What do you think? Should we go explore this ship?
Oh, somebody's got to grab that little the bracelet
Yeah.
with the gemstones, right? Because the corn farmer had it. The corn farmer's now dead.
All right, who would like to go first?
Yeah, that's true. That is for sure what Chonk would do.
So does Chonk want to go first?
Yeah.
All right, so Chonk, give me a strength or agility check as you try to climb down the mast.
That was an agility check for 8.
Roll a 1d2. You got a 2. Chunk slips off of the mast and goes plummeting into the sea for 1d4 damage.
Uh-oh.
Roll 1d4 damage.
Oh, he's alive.
Oh,
He is
1
alive.
point of damage and splashes into the sea, and Chunk is now in the sea going, help, help.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to, how about your other characters, Micah?
You know what? Let's try to send Turnip Timmy down there. He's just trying to get down the mast for now to get to the ship. And if he can get to the ship, then maybe he'll try to save the guy.
All right.
He's going to try agility too.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
That
Wow.
effect.
That's quite the effect. He just spirals down there, makes it all the way to the bottom, lands on the deck. There are ropes hanging off of the deck of the ship that you could throw out and rescue Chunk. You also do notice that the boat is taking on water pretty rapidly.
All right, yeah, he's gonna grab a rope and throw it out to Chonk.
He manages to pull Chunk in. Do you have any other characters?
Yeah, they're not gonna do anything else.
All right, Novi.
The minstrel Grundle, not going to try anything because he's not going to succeed.
Okay.
My con man, he is going to he's going to stay up here as well. Is there anything on the look at the Shrike's bodies? Is there anything on the Shrike's bodies you can get?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to move. Actually, he's going to move up to here,
Okay.
and the minstrel's going to stay where he is.
All right. AJ.
Can my astrologer basic toss the grappling hook in the water after Chonk is already back on the boat and be like, "Oh, I helped. I helped."
Sure.
Honestly,
Any way you'd like to waste your movement?
he's just gonna move forward. Like he's not gonna do anything. There it is. Easy.
Do you have any more, or are you
Yeah.
down to 2?
Yeah. I saw all 4.
Oh, okay.
20, 25, 30. Rudy's
Guess
moving
they've
up.
just been completely worthless. And I didn't
They have
notice.
done nothing. Cheesemaker's moving up. And who else do I have? Oh, that elf. Oh, the elf is useful. Elf bashed that thing's skull in. Also, elf is
I was
moving up.
just joking. You're always full of use. All right, John.
Mom tells me the same thing.
One of our more valuable players now, John.
Let's move on to somebody it matters if they die.
The new guy always gets the hell,
Love it. Love it.
the hazing.
Yeah, my guys are just gonna be like, well, look at that shit, and then keep walking.
Okay. Back to Micah.
So the cut purse has learned nothing from almost dying, and he's going to try to retrieve that crystal encrusted hand.
Okay, so you're going to pull it off of his body.
Yes.
Okay. So the cut purse walks up and sees this. It looks like it's solid gold and completely encrusted in gems, like super valuable gems. The second he puts his hand on it, it instantly comes off of the dead ballista man and flips around in your hand to the opening and attaches to your hand just covers your hand. And when it does, it chews your hand up like a blender. You just start screaming in agony. Blood is spraying out of it everywhere, and it fuses itself to your arm. And now you have a hook. It's a very valuable hook, but it's yours.
Damn. Yeah, Chonk's having a bad day.
But it's a magical weapon, so it does 1d4 damage and +1 to hit.
Micah, please tell me that Chonk now demands that everyone call him Captain Chonk.
Yeah, that's true. He needs a new pirate alias. He's going to come away from this a different man with a different name.
All right. How about your other characters?
Turnip Tim is just looking upon this horrified, and he's going to try to climb the mast and get back on the bridge.
Okay.
He's noticing this thing is sinking, so he's like yelling at everybody as he's trying to come back up, like, "Get the hell out of here! The ship's taking on water. We gotta go."
All right. Is that all your characters?
Yeah, nobody else is doing anything else.
All right. Novi?
The minstrel's horrified of it, but he just move away at a rapid speed.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to do anything with their characters other than move away?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk away from this wreckage, and everybody's kind of looking at Chonk now with his hook and blood running down his arms. And you all do notice that that hook looks very valuable. It's covered in gems. For any of you chaotic folk out there, just saying. You spend the rest of the day walking until it's nighttime again. It's dark. It's cold. There's no storm. Lucky for you. but it is nighttime. Do you want to rest?
I think those of us who are still alive had better rest.
Okay. All right. So you sleep through the evening. You wake up the next morning. It's a nice, bright, sunny day. And off in the distance, you see something. It's hard to describe. It's like a waving in the sky, kind of like, you know, how heat looks when it's coming off a pavement. You just see this waving a long ways ahead of you.
Do we regain any hit points after resting?
That's a great question. I didn't even think about that, AJ.
Oh.
Glad you're thinking.
We need to squeeze out every hit point we can get. They're very valuable right now.
That's why I make that big intern pay here at RPG Underground.
Wait a minute, you get paid?
He does, but that's, you know, right before he pays his monthly dues, which is much higher than his income. So healing, let's see here. Wounds heal with rest. Who'd have thunk it? You get a good night's sleep, you rest, you heal 1 point. So anybody that's down a point can increase it 1 point. All right. And like I said, off in the distance, a good ways, you see something wavering in the sky.
Not stop winning. Back to full health.
So do you keep going forward?
Yeah, what else are we gonna do? Shit.
As you go forward, hour after hour, you get closer and closer to this thing until you're on it, at which point you see in front of you is this gigantic portal in the sky.
Nope.
And that's where we're going to end part 1, and we'll pick this up next week.